generally speaking, when I get on here, we're talking, I suppose, the mentality of greatness, the mentality of demanding greatness, and how you show up, how you deliver things, how you interact, all these kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, I think that is a huge, huge part of it. But there are also practical applications. And we've spoken, obviously, many, many times before about you want to improve your life out of sight and you want to become the greatest version of yourself. The simple answer is you join demanding greatness. But failing that, it is exercise. Exercise and nutrition is the, well, I think it's the gateway drug to everything else you want in this life. And how it builds to that component. I think it's how we get everything else we want, how we become a more disciplined man, how we create mental toughness and discipline and fortitude and becoming a man of your word and all this kind of stuff. But there is also, as we said, the practical side of these. There is the ways to do this. Now, today marks the start of phase 5 for myself. So I have completed 4 phases of 126 days. Now, my Demanding Greatness's program and all that is broken down into 126 days. The reason being, it takes 126 days to replace a negative habit with a positive habit. With no exception, with no days off, with no missed breaks, with nothing. Just every single day. And as I was looking into it and as I was going, all right, I'm about to start phase 5 of this. I'm over 500 days into this. I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to get a bit of a reset on how I'm showing up, the things I'm doing, all that kind of stuff. And I have a 14-day protocol, which can be extended out into 28 days, and we'll see how I'm responding and if I feel like I need to really reset hard. But there's a 14-day protocol, which I do like to begin the 126 phases with. The reason being, well, it's just a kick in the ass to get your discipline going. It's a kick in the ass to get everything engaged, to get that mental discipline turned on. It's about training it, and the nice little bonus side effect is, well, shit ton of fat loss. And as I said, and we've talked about this many times, most of what I do with Demanding Greatness is built around the fact of who you're becoming, the man you're becoming along the way. The physical side of that is just a benefit. The strength, the fitness, the health, all this kind of stuff, that's just a benefit of doing this work. But it's a very nice benefit. Don't get me wrong, I much more prefer being in great shape than I do being fat, overweight, man tits, stomach hanging over the belt, all that kind of stuff. But it's the side benefit. And as I go into this phase, I was like, no, as I've said before, you get comfortable you'll always seek comfort. And the level I'm playing at the moment is phenomenal. If I'm comparing myself to others. If I'm comparing myself down. And that's a really dangerous game to play. Comparing yourself to others. Because, as we've discussed before, the average person's level is so sad these days, is so pathetic these days, that you do anything and you're killing it. You do any form of exercise, nutrition, taking accountability, you're already right up there. We had this discussion the other day. I offered a program to the local basketball league I play in. And I was like, 4 days a week. And they're like, oh, but we're not you. We're not that disciplined. And I was like, yeah, I'm aware. That's why I offered the 4 times a week. And the majority of people were like, I was thinking 1, maybe 2. And I was like, right. So that's the level we're playing at. That 4 times a week is considered extreme discipline. So we don't want to compare down to that. We don't want to compare ourselves to that because, well, it allows you the opportunity to get sloppy. It allows you the opportunity to just slip and really not, well, demand greatness of yourself, not push yourself to be the greatest version of yourself, not continue to push forward. So as I entered this new phase, I was like, no, I want to reset. I want to double down. I want to not be comfortable with the level that I've reached. I need to continue pushing forward. And so I wanted to introduce into it, again, the demanding greatness protocol. So it's 14 days. As I said, it's meant as a mental reset, but a nice bonus is the fat loss. And so most of this is built around nutrition. And that's because, well, as we know, the demanding greatness protocol overall, the general 126, the thing that we follow every single day, includes a weighted workout every day and a weighted walk every single day, no matter what. So we're not adding anything in there. That's already been established. That's already just par for the course. That's what we're doing. So I will continue that, obviously. I'm going to focus on seeing if I can push myself that little bit further, if I can engage myself a little bit more, if I can reach a little bit further with that. But the nutrition side of it, what we're focusing on this side, is it goes in a 7-day cycle, all right? So we begin with day 1, which is a fast. And I'll put this in the description for you guys. Begins with a fast. And as it sounds, it's just nothing but water. Water, black coffee. Nothing else is going to pass through your lips. You really wanted to ramp it up, you could try a dry fast, but I don't think most people would benefit much from that. I don't think you really need to push your levels that much. I think you're better off just focusing on that, and particularly if you're new to fasting, I think you're better off just, well, seeing how the hunger goes. Because, so today's Monday, for example, and you're now not going to eat again till Tuesday at lunchtime. So it's about a 40-ish hour fast, depending on when you had dinner on Sunday night. So yeah, that's your first challenge. 1, you'll quickly discover that the majority of your eating is habitual. It's just habit, especially that dinner meal. There is nothing I find more habitual than coming home to eat dinner. It's like, and you get these cravings and these hunger things and all this kind of stuff associated with it. And it's not actual hunger. It's just, hey, like, well, depends on how your life's set up. But for me, I come home from work. Oh, it's food time. Not that I'm hungry, not that I actually need something, but that's what we do. And this is part of that reset, that it's to break those cycles and it's to work on that mental discipline, to work on that toughness, to work on those kinds of things, the fortitude that, well, comes with that. So that's day 1.5. So on Tuesday, day 2, you roll into what I call a 3+. And if you're used to fasting, if you come across, an 18-6, 6-18, depending on how you want to phrase it, you will have seen this before. And the simple concept is that you're going to eat in a 6 to 8 hour window, depending on how you want to structure it out. I prefer the 6-hour window, just from experience, talking to other people I know, all that kind of stuff. But you're going to have 3 meals in that 6-hour window. And all, like everything we do with demanding greatness, those food choices are going to come from, it's going to be meat and Basically, that's it. You're going to have meat, eggs, fish, whatever. And you're just going to hit as much of it as you can. Again, this is a big shift. It's a reset. It's all of that kind of stuff. And so we're focusing on getting in as much protein as humanly possible in that 6 to 8 hour window. Just really hitting it. And I'm going to tell you, this is going to be mentally tough again, because it's going to challenge you. You're going to find that first meal is really easy. That second meal's not too bad. That third meal's really pushing it, because you're going to be really full from all the protein. And also that you haven't really eaten for, as I said, 40-ish hours. So that's really going to push it as well. So that's the next day. And then we repeat the cycle. We're going again for another fast. And on this fast, so Tuesday afternoon you're eating. Wednesday, you don't eat again until Thursday. And again, this is mentally challenging. You'll find that this is a more full-on fast than the first one. Because normally you'll be coming off the back end of either eating junk food or a refeed or something like that, or eating a higher calorie day on the Sunday, and you'll come into this and it's going to hit. And again, this is where we work on that grit. This is when we work on the determination. This is when we work on the mental toughness. This is the point. It's a mental reset. That's what we're trying to achieve here. That's what we're building for. That's what we're focusing on. And that's what we're trying to gain from this protocol, right? So again, it's a 40-hour fast. We're going all the way through till Thursday lunchtime, and it's another 3+. And you're gonna have 3 meals in a 6 to 8 hour window of just meat. Meat, fish, eggs, chicken, whatever tickles your fancy. Red meat or rheumatoids are always my preference. They're always going to be your best bang for buck. They're the ones who are going to have huge benefits, that and eggs, but whatever you need to do. All right. Friday is another 3+. So you're just waiting through until you get to the end of the day. That 6 to 8 hour window, so it's about lunchtime, and then you're trying to squeeze it in from there. And then we get to Saturday, and now this is where people get a bit skewed. I call this a Zen day. Again, it's a little bit different. There's a little bit of a reset. So for breakfast, you're going to have fruit and protein, whatever that looks like. And you're going to break it down. Again, you want to really smash through the protein. But the fruit, with a bit of the glycogen spike and the carbs in it, will allow you to eat more. It will. It'll give you the opportunity to eat more, because it just changes how your body processes that. So you'll find it a bit easier to eat the protein. So eat as much fruit as you want, eat as much protein as you want. It's also part of why I like these as a setup, because I don't have to give you measurements. I don't have to give you specifications. I don't have to give you weights or anything or calories. Just eat. Trust me, it works. And if you really want to get into it, on the days that you do eat, you want to get, ideal is 1 gram of protein per kilo of body weight. That's kind of where you want to be hitting. If you can go 2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight, you're going to absolutely kill it. But 1 gram will serve you pretty damn well. And so on the Zen day, you have meat and fruit for breakfast, and then same again for dinner. Nothing in between. It's about 12 hours in between. It doesn't have to be exactly 12 hours, but roughly 12 hours in between. And then you have the same for dinner. And then Sunday. Sunday is the day where we get interesting. Now, this is what we call the refeed day. So on this day, I want you to hit up more of your carb sources. So lots of fruit, you can have some honey, you can get into sweet potatoes, even a bit of the potatoes on this one. There's a bit of an outside of what I normally do, but it's about, well, giving you a bit more of those carbs, a bit more of that so you can consume more. You still got to be hitting that protein number. You got to really, that's the only amount, like as much protein as you can is always my methodology. And that's what I like to use. I think it's the most effective. It means you don't have to think about it much, but it gives you your best bang for buck. But adding in, as I said, fruit, honey, sweet potato, those kinds of things will allow you to eat a bit more because it's just the way the different breakdowns of it is. It's like if you ever watch an eating competition, they'll have drinks and they'll have soft drinks, sides, and they'll have other things that they eat with them because the change of the makeup of the food, it allows you to eat more of it. But it's really important on that refeed day that you go through it and you're eating, again, still the protein, but large amounts of food with it. And this will give you a nice fueled up and you'll feel nice and full and you'll go into that fast day feeling ready for it. And again, then you're just repeating the cycle. And as I said, usually it's a 14-day process depending on where you're at physically, mentally, those kinds of things. You can do it up to 28 days. The thing I will put on the back end of this is hyper effective, like ridiculously effective. I've seen people lose 10 kilos in 14 days. Really, really effective for fat loss. It's just one of the greatest things I've ever come across, put together, and I've worked on this. I've been tweaking this for, how long have I been training people? 17 years, 18 years, something like that. And it's just really, really effective kickstart to get your health and fitness going. But also, as I said, to work on that mind game, to work on that mentality, to work on how disciplined you are, because you are going to have habitual struggles with this. You are going to have days where you feel like you want to give in. You've got to override those emotions. You've got to teach yourself, and you've got to learn what are, and I think it's a really important factor overall, what's true signals of your body and what's an emotional craving. Most people get crippled by emotional cravings. They don't actually know what their body feels like. You haven't actually really experienced hunger. These are the things that will get you. So this is a really, really great way. I would definitely, if you are considering this, if you want to get some good results, if you want to test your mental capacity, if you want to work on that, try this. Demanding Greatness Protocol, 14 days. Start there and see how you go. But as I said, the caveat is on the back end, you need to have something in place. Because it is extreme. It is intense as all hell. If you just go back to doing what you were doing, that rebound is brutal. This is not a quick fix tool that you just dip in and then go back to who you were. That is literally the worst thing you could possibly do. You need to have a proper, concrete, in-place plan of what's going to follow up on this. Hey, I've got one of them. I've got a blueprint. It's called Demanding Greatness. You just follow along. Worst case scenario, you go to an animal-based diet. Similar concept. Do 16-8, 18-6, whatever's going to tickle your fancy, whatever you find a bit more applicable. Do that. Do an animal-based diet. Eat meat, fruit, sweet potato. It'll cover your bases as you do that, you follow through. Oh, look, you continue to progress. You continue to see results. You continue to do these kinds of things. But as I said, I'm starting this cycle and I don't want to stay comfortable. I want to push myself outside of this and I want to see where I can get to with this. I want to get back into a place where I'm constantly pushing myself forward. I want to keep challenging the mental game, the emotional game. I keep seeing who I can be. Because more than anything, that's what this is about. It's about seeing how far I can take this, seeing how far I can push it, and to keep challenging the mental game. Because there is no maintenance. There is either growth or decline. There is nothing in between. So if you find that you're like, oh, this is getting really easy, this is getting really comfortable, hey, That's your warning sign that it's time to do something different. So here is your opportunity. Here is your moment to do something different. And if you're not sure, if you want more detail, if you want the accountability, which truly I think is the thing that's really going to make the difference, you know where to find me. Click the link in the bio, shoot me a message, any of those options, and let's get you into demanding greatness properly. Let's give you the full blueprint that has taken me to this point. And by the way, I've shortened the process. I reckon if I started again from scratch today, the results that have taken me the whole time to get this, I reckon I could get that in one cycle. One cycle in 126. I think you'd be shocked at who you could become in a very relatively short period of time, 126 days. Your whole life can be different. So if you want to talk about that, if you want to see if you've got what it takes, if you want to push your limits, if you want to get outside your comfort zone and transform your entire life, well, the opportunity is there. You've just got to take it. So that's all I have for you. And I'll keep you posted as I go through the next 14 days. I am honestly considering pushing it to the 28. I think it might be the right answer to just really kickstart my mentality and get outside that comfort zone. So I'll keep you posted, and I'll be documenting it on the Instagram, and can't wait to see you on the other side.